we should be able to put somebody who's not an asshole like Scalia was in as a Supreme Court judge. Somebody who will actually make some decisions based on morals and ethics and the rights and looks at the Constitution in an actual intelligent way. Okay, that's what we need there. The last thing on earth that the Republican Party wants is that. So, what Mitch McConnell, this is the hypocrisy of old greedy white men in our government. Mitch McConnell came out saying, well, we really should let this should be the people deciding, and Obama shouldn't be putting people in, the turtle, whatever. But here's the thing, Mitch, you were the one who wants to, you use there's this bullshit rule that you want to call out that allows you to do something. I'm not even going to name it, but it's some bullshit rule that you made up. John Oliver does a cover on this, does a much better story on this, folks. I'm just aggregating the news. I'm just telling you where the hypocrisy lies. And I can't play the John Oliver clip, but you guys can look at it later. It has to do with voter ID fraud, Mitch McConnell just being a douchebag. Mitch McConnell today is saying we should employ this law, this bullshit law, to stop Obama from appointing a Supreme Court justice and letting the Senate vote on it. That we really shouldn't let that happen. Right? Back in 2004, Mitch McConnell argued against the same bullshit law. Let's listen to what Mitch had to say about this bullshit law that he now wants to use.
It was time to do so. Specifically, he stated, I have already said that once the paperwork on President Bush's nomination of Judge Glenn Conrad to the Fourth Circuit is completed, if there is sufficient time, I hope to move his nomination. Well, the chairman's conditions are met with respect to Judge Glenn Conrad's nomination. His paperwork has been ready for a month, and it's only July the 17th. Last time I looked, there are 12 months in a year. It's July the 17th. Clearly we have time to confirm him, but yet we have no action on this nomination. Now, Mr. President, our Democratic colleagues continually talk about the so-called Thurman Rule, under which the Senate supposedly stops confirming judges in a presidential election year. I'm concerned that this seeming obsession with this supposed rule, which, by the way, doesn't exist. I mean, Senator Specter has researched that thoroughly, and there is no such rule. But anyway, this seeming obsession with this rule that doesn't exist is just an excuse for our colleagues to run out the clock on qualified nominees who are waiting to fill badly needed vacancies. So, Madam President, no party is without blame in the confirmation process, but what is going on now, or more accurately, what is not going on, is yet another step backward in politicizing the process we had all hoped we would get beyond. It's the American people, especially those in the 5 states that make up the Fourth Circuit, who are suffering the consequences, and I'm sorry the Majority Leader doesn't think that matters. Madam President, I yield the floor.
So, a couple things. It's the Thurman Rule, which is just a bullshit rule, okay? And, of course, he wants to have it both ways. Secondly, I agree with you all that Jon Stewart's impersonation of McConnell is best. I can't do it. I can't make it. I don't have the ability to make the turtle face and to do the turtle like Jon Stewart. You're absolutely right. Mitch McConnell should go on a hunting venture wherever Scalia was hunting. I wish McConnell would go too. Seems to work. This is basically, when they want to have it their way, they have it their way. When they don't think their way is right way, you can't have it both ways, Mitch. You can't be a fucking hypocrite. That's the problem here. And that was in 2008, folks, not even 2004. That clip was 2008. So now he wants to imply the same rule. I also saw Hannah say that we need to use the correct terminology. Not nominate, but appoint. Correct? And that's true. It's just appoint. So Obama needs to have balls, needs to appoint somebody. Hopefully they're remarkably liberal. The antithesis of what Scalia was basically a paid Supreme Court justice. Scalia was the embodiment of Citizens United because he was paid. He knew exactly who he worked for. He certainly didn't work for the American people. And anybody who wants to make claims and statements otherwise and say, oh, he was a great judge, fuck you. He was an absolute abhorrent piece of shit. He ruined our democracy in many ways. This is the John Oliver video I wanted to run. We're going to talk about ghost voting, which has a lot to do with the hypocrisy in our democracy. But if you guys get a chance, look for this. John Oliver's Glorious Takedown of Voter ID Laws. It's up on Vox Policy and Politics. If you don't have access to cable, watch this. It's a really, really good piece, about 13, 14 minutes. Great piece on just voter laws, voter ID laws. It's the most ridiculous thing. We should make, as he says in the end, we should make our politicians show their ID every time they go to vote, just to make sure they are who they are because of ghost voting. And ghost voting is one of our topics in this hypocrisy of democracy. But I forgot to show you this. Senator Warren, at least having some balls, abandoning their Senate duties would also prove that all the Republican talk about loving the Constitution is just that, empty talk. And we've got that because you scroll down here and where did it start? It's a very long thing. It was right here. It is the constitutional responsibility of the president to nominate judges of the Supreme Court with the advice and consent of the Senate. If a senator purposefully blocks a presidential nominee because they want to wait for the results of a presidential election, they are not fulfilling their constitutional responsibility. Malfeasance in office has been defined as a wrongful act in which the actor has no legal right to do, which affects, interrupts, or interferes with the performance of official duty. That was just a nice statement there. I don't even know who that person is, but kind of legalities around what's going on here. Wait a minute, Jon Stewart for VP. I would put Jon Stewart in for VP. Stuart Colbert. I used to have a bumper sticker, Stuart Colbert. I think those two guys could do a great job in office. It's a shame that they are locked under the comedic umbrella, because a lot of what they had to say about our country, about politics, it wasn't funny at all. It was wrapped in a joke, but it was not funny at all. They were telling the truth. They were being muckrakers. John Oliver, another wonderful guy. Just reading some of your comments here. Right. Interesting. Yeah, there is. So, all right. Moving on here. Let's watch this little video. This is a 31-second clip, and a lot of you may have seen this clip. Ghost voting, folks. So first we have Mitch McConnell first he doesn't think, he says this Thurmond rule is bullshit, and then he says we want to use the Thurmond rule. So which way is it, Mitch? Do you not remember what you said in 2008? So there's a hypocrisy in our democracy. Here's another one. This is apparently, if you Google ghost voting, you will find videos from so many states. This is prevalent all over, folks. And watch the John Oliver piece, because he's got a lot more footage of it. But basically what you're looking at is lazy-ass politicians. Lazy, cheating politicians. Because the ones that are too lazy to show up to vote, or have some bullshit excuse to not vote, other people have sticks. You'll watch these politicians sit in their chairs with sticks, reach under and do a vote for a person. How fast can I reach the other person's machine? It's like a goddamn game in junior high to watch these politicians act. These are supposed to be our elected leaders with brains. They should have brains. But this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. This is elected officials voting for other officials that aren't there by pushing their antiquated voting systems. Realize, folks, that all of this could be done today on a mobile app. These politicians that are like, well, I wasn't there to vote, so I had Nancy use her stick to vote for me. But John got there first, so he chose no, but I really wanted to vote yes on that one. But it was a race. That's literally what you're going to see here, is these people racing to hit other people's buttons to make their vote. How the fuck how did our country last this long with assholes and morons doing this kind of shit? Every politician out there that's done ghost voting should be fired. That's treason. That's fucking ridiculous. But the worst part is that we have the technology to fix this, folks. We've had the technology for a decade. They could build a fucking voting app. Not that hard. They could lock it down and make it secure. Just don't talk to Microsoft about it. There's a lot of ways that they could do this. I don't even understand. They're voting with these ancient machines and these buttons inside these ancient courthouses. This is the 21st century. It's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. Here, watch ghost voting from your elected officials, folks.
Ghost voting is still a concern in the Texas legislature, and Representative Tom Craddock is not doing enough to stop it. That's the conclusion after a Travis County grand jury investigation into the long-standing but very controversial practice where members vote for their colleagues when they can't make it to session. A spokesperson for Craddock's office says ghost voting is just, quote, a long-standing courtesy. The grand jury has no power to issue indictments, but that didn't stop it from urging House leaders to stop the practice immediately.
You gotta be kidding me. We have no legal right to challenge this shit? It's a courtesy? That is the most bullshit. It is not a courtesy to have somebody else place a vote for you because you can't be there to understand what the fuck you're voting on. Can I send my wife to go ghost vote for me when I vote for President of the United States? No. What the Why do these people, these establishment people, get to decide that we don't have the right to sue the shit out of them for ghost voting? Why don't we have the right? We do have the right, folks. We have every right. This is where we march into our capitals. This is where we vote these people out. This is where we run for office and we fund each other so that we can put real people in office, not these idiots and morons ghost voting for each other like high school. I'm so embarrassed. What an embarrassment for the greatest nation ever in the history of the world in the 21st century to have our lazy fat-ass politicians pushing each other's antiquated buttons because they can't be there to pay attention when they need to vote on something. What a mockery of our democracy. What a fucking hypocrisy. Who knows what the votes would really be, right? If these people were actually paying attention, if they were participating in democracy, if they were doing their fucking jobs. It is clear and apparent that a good number of our politicians at the state, local, and federal level do not do their jobs, do not understand how to do their jobs, and don't give a shit. They make up excuses like, it's been a convenience, a nice complimentary convenience for a long time to have somebody push my ghost vote button for me. Fuck! They are morons. They are morons, Trish, because they think they can stay in office. They are morons because they're not up to date with how our country functions. They're not up to date with the state of our infrastructure. They don't understand how pissed off the people are. I consider them all to be morons because they're not going to be in office very much longer. We are going to remove all of them. The establishment government does nothing. This is just so frustrating, so frustrating. We're going to move on from that hypocrisy and talk about what we're doing for Bernie Sanders. I want to read what they're busy. Yeah, what are they busy doing, Libby? What are they busy doing? Making money on the side? Talking to lobbyists? Taking trips? Putting it on expense accounts? You guys don't even realize just how much of our taxpayer money they spend going all over the place. How much of the lobbyist money? That's where the lobbyist money goes, folks. These lobbyists pay for trips and hookers and blow and all sorts of fun stuff for these guys. We need true progressives. They're selfish fucktards. Okay, we can call them that. Yes, exactly. Let's be courteous and show them the door. Nice comment, John Celeste. Thank you for your prayers. My wife Diana had her operation. Things come out good. Polio, wonderful! Yay! That's good to know. That's good to know that your wife came out. That's outstanding. My own self, I understand. I've been depressed for the last 4 days. That's why this show's been very angry and very sad. And I get it. There's a lot of us that are depressed right now. There's a lot of us that don't have our basic needs met. And we're trying to make that happen. These politicians that sit in office and ghost vote for each other and do as they please, and people like Mitch McConnell that 1 minute they want to do things this way, then they want to be a hypocrite. This happens all the time in our government. All the time. Obama is a hypocrite. You can't push environmental policy and the TPP at the same time. That's being a hypocrite, Obama. You can't push environmental policy and work with the fossil fuel industry like you do, Obama. That's being a hypocrite. You're a fucking hypocrite. Hillary is a fucking hypocrite. We have a hypocrisy in our democracy that is massive. And the only way to fix it is to replace these liars, these establishment liars, with people on the peace train with Bernie who are going to speak the truth. And the only way to do that, folks, is by electing people who give a shit. And the only way to do that is to fund them and to show up. Show up and vote. We have a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. We are doing that, though. I want to show you this. This is going to make you feel good. This is going to make you feel good. This is, Sanders supporters revolt against superdelegates. Okay? Outraged by the delegate deficit Sanders faces even after his New Hampshire win, the senator's backers are taking action. Now, what this article really says, guys, is that Bernie, that we are badasses. Okay? What we're doing here, and I know I just remembered that we have lower third comments, so we're going to start running them. I apologize deeply. Here we go. Let's get the swirlies going. Let's get comments going. All right, we're running these through. There we go. Now I can see your comments. Coffee, cannabis, and cannolis. Breakfast of champions. Nice. Gonna relax. Yeah, Al Franken is a huge sellout. That really makes me sad, folks. Al Franken, massive sellout. Pissed off at you, Al. R words. Morning. I should have just started running these. This is new. Thank you so much, Hannah. Hannah is doing this for us. And 1 minute, folks. Got an update from Jackson. Okay. The next potential stream from Jackson will be at 3:15 Eastern for whatever Bernie Sanders has going on then. I'll try to get all that information for you. Jackson and I have to test the system. If it tests, it'll work. If not, it may be another Periscope, okay? If we don't have good connection, it may not even be that. As soon as we get the connectivity fixed between the F7 and the LU70, the two acronyms we have to connect, we will have streams, folks. Today should be the day. Thank you so much for your patience. Just got that information from Jackson. 3:15 p.m. today Eastern, we should have a stream of some kind. Hopefully it'll be the LU70. Aw, thanks, man. Champion of the truth and F-bombs. I appreciate that. Aggregator of the truth, really. We are badasses, folks. We are going after you know what we've done. You know the list of superdelegates. You know how many people have been calling us superdelegates. We are hammering these folks. Keep it up. Keep doing it. They need to understand that they need to vote with the will of the people. And the more people that call these superdelegates, the more they understand that the people are interested in Bernie Sanders. That the people are not interested in what the establishment wants. These superdelegates will understand that they have a choice. We're out of comments. Okay. The choice is between keeping their jobs and not. That's what it comes down to. Because the people are going to elect Bernie Sanders. The DNC is going to do everything to fight it. The establishment is going to do everything to fight it. And we may have to do some violent things to get Bernie Sanders in office if the DNC chooses to go against the will of the people. But this can only really happen if the superdelegates go against the will of the people. And we are fighting with them right now, calling them, sending them information, posting information. But basically what we're telling them is, you either do what the people want, or you're not going to have jobs. We are going to elect other people that do what we want. Because that's what a democracy is electing officials that do what the people want. And so as a superdelegate, if you're going to back the establishment, which is not what the people want, you're going to lose your job. So keep up the pressure, folks. This is exactly what we need to do. We're going to move a little bit into Hillary Clinton and the hypocrisy there. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's a viral rant about Hillary Clinton. Yeah, Elizabeth Warren has a petition out for the superdelegates. They really need to get rid of superdelegates. The superdelegates are simply a measure put in to have control over the people. They're bullshit. They're unnecessary. One person, one vote. Get rid of the fucking superdelegates. All of these idiotic measures that have been placed in, gerrymandering bullshit, the electorate in general does not need to exist. We get rid of the fucking electorate. One person, one vote. We'd be done. But all these little bullshit measures were put in so that our government had more control over our voting process than we do. And it's going to take us a shit ton of legislation to back out of all of this stuff and make it clear and plain. We should have electronic voting. It should be Unix-based. It should be open source and maintained and run by the people. We should be able to vote from our fucking phones, from our homes. All of this stuff could be taken care of, folks. This article is great. I got to pull it up full screen here. So here's what happened. And this article is by Amanda Gerard. Politico released basically a Hillary Clinton puff piece, as she calls it, to its Facebook page, in which a young Clinton supporter aims to convince fellow millennials about how her candidate was such a boss in the 1990s. Slave boss, maybe. One Facebook commenter was having none of it. And this is the... you guys have heard the rumor? You guys have heard the rumor that... well, it's not a rumor, actually. The Clinton campaign, before we get into this, the Clinton campaign is seeking help with their social media. They've made that clear. They're like, we don't know what we're doing. Please, some God, help us with social media. This is the effort, apparently. And here's the reaction. This is, I'm going to zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in. This is fantastic. This is the reaction. If you guys haven't seen this, I haven't seen the barking dog yanked. I know you guys made a comment about that. I haven't seen it, but check this out. Okay. I believe this was so. Basically, it's Hillary was such a boss in the '90s. Was this puff piece? Here's the reaction. I believe this was when Hillary attacked her husband's rape victims and destroyed them in public. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I believe that was when Hillary Clinton was on the board of Walmart, which was the nation's largest discriminatory employer, who paid women 70 cents on the dollar. Oh wait, I'm sorry. This was when Clinton called single mothers deadbeats. Oh wait, I'm sorry. This was when Clinton called black men super predators, and she and her husband traveled first class to execute a black man with an IQ of 70. Oh wait, I'm sorry. This was when Clinton said marriage should only exist between people of the opposite sex. Yeah. Hillary Clinton is a hypocrite. Like most establishment politicians, she's lying through her ass. Her record in the 90s shows that she was pretty much an establishment bitch. And we didn't care. We didn't understand what that meant at the time. We just let the Clintons do what they please, and they sold it to us while Bill played saxophone and Hillary ran around going yay. We were dumb. I voted back then. I was dumb. Okay? I will admit to my mistakes. We can't let people like Hillary Clinton continue to be hypocrites and run our government. Shit like this that happens in the media, this Facebook post, and this person destroying it with a comment like that, that is exactly our power. That is us. That is the 99% showing that we know the truth and we are not going to be lied to anymore by establishment bullshit or really dumb attempts at social media. I mean, this backfires tenfold. I don't know how many millennials she just lost. That must have been a huge loss for her. That was really, really stupid. Hillary forgot about the internet. Yeah. She did. Bernie is live on ABC right now? That's good. That's good. I can't cover it. I can't. Oh! Yeah, we'll talk about that. We got another copyright strike for Starman. Whoever owns Starman, the David Bowie ending. Yeah. I may lose the channel here soon. We'll explain why in a minute. But let's talk about this. We may have to go to channel 6, folks. But for right now, I want to show you this. So we talk about, with Hillary and the hypocrisy here, I'm going to show you something. This is out of Gawker. And we're looking at an email. You're looking at an email. This image is an email written by somebody from the campaign, pushing it to the press. Basically putting the words in that they want used to reference this puff piece about Hillary Clinton. All right? So check this out. This is how Hillary Clinton gets the coverage she wants. And what I don't know if you can see here. I'll zoom in a little bit closer on it. What you're looking at there is the clip from Mark Ambinder, July 15th, 2009. That's the actual clip that was published. What's behind it is the email, and it says, do you have a copy of Hillary's or HRC's speech to share? And then it says, what it basically says, here's what we'd like you to do if you have it to share. In your own voice, describe them as muscular. You note that a look at the CFR seating plan shows that all the envoys from Holbrooke to Mitchell to Ross will be displayed in front of her, which in your own clever way, you can say certainly not a coincidence and meant to convey something. This literally is an email explaining how they want this worded. And then when you read it, here's his opening line. When you think of President Obama's foreign policy, think of Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. That's the message behind a muscular speech that Clinton is set to deliver today to the Council on Foreign Relations. If you were listening to this being read in 2009 by a radio guy in that peppy national news voice that I just emulated, you'd think nothing of it. But those words were not this man's words. Those words came from the Hillary campaign. This is how the establishment works to change the narrative. And if she's doing this with this guy, do you not think this is happening with all media outlets? Right? This is hypocrisy. Let us tell you how you should word this to the public. Thank you for being our propaganda machine. We really appreciate it. It's it's just ridiculous, folks. It's ridiculous. Look at some of your comments. Saw this today, completely illustrates how she operates. Totally. You learned about Brenda Brown. You learned about Bernie from your Republican husband, Mark. It's been a fan. Really? Really? Is your Republican husband, Mark, voting for Bernie this time? Is he fed up with the Republicanness? Find the Hillary Clinton tapes. Paula Peters took a home video in 2000 where Hillary says she doesn't use email because of all the investigations. No shit? Oh, I will look for that. Somebody find me that link. Yeah, I know. There's a 7 minute. I've got a 13-minute video of her just lying. But yeah, I'll look up that. Here's the thing. We all know that this content's out there. We all know that it exists. You and I, we're here. We're here right now. We know that the information is all over the web. The problem is it's not in the hands of the people who are still connected to establishment media feeds. People 65 and older. Conservative. These are the people we have to reach, right? And our own media. Our own media denies. They're like in complete denial. If this were the tobacco industry, if this were the tobacco debacle right here, our media is sitting around smoking packs, ignorant of the fact that they are part of the problem. Or they're well aware that they're part of the problem and they don't give a shit. Right? I think there's a lot of journalists right now that are starting to realize, oh shit, right? I have to make a choice here. I have to choose integrity over paycheck. That's hard to do, folks. That's really hard to do. Let's take a look at this in more encouraging news. This HuffPost piece. I will say this is encouraging and discouraging because to me, this is just another piece written for the establishment. It looks on top like this is a piece supporting Bernie Sanders. Okay? The race to lose the White House. So the opening line, the Clinton juggernaut is losing traction. Powered by the full weight of the Democratic establishment, it was designed to smoothly carry its idol across America into the White House. It still may get there, but now it must traverse a far more treacherous and uncertain route than Hillary and her entourage ever imagined. That's the truth. But here's the thing about this article, it sucks. You read all the way through it, you think, all right, whatever you stand. You get to the bottom, it says, Hillary's still going to win. So you read this whole article, you get to the bottom. Hillary's still going to win. I don't understand how this guy can say that. Right? So to me, it's still a pro-Hillary piece. But the truth is, we know she's losing ground. We know that they're having problems. They're behind in media buys, as Tad Devine has said. They've given up on Nevada, as far as we know. They're probably going to give up on South Carolina, too. They're trying to push this myth that she's got the minority vote, but that's not coming through anymore because we've seen the truth. Shit like this on Facebook proves it. All right? So she's losing ground. She's losing traction. The DNC rolled back that law on taking lobbyist money so that they could help fund their campaign girl. I mean, this is how many more signs of catastrophic failure do we need? If you're a voter just to vote, you want to vote for the winning party, you should already see that your candidate's got big problems. Big problems. What are all the numbers in here? Are we talking age? Is that what you guys are doing? Age? Yeah. Nice. Tobacco should be illegal. Alcohol should have more restrictions on it than marijuana, in my opinion. Alcohol is a far worse drug. Far more addictive. Well, it is addictive. Marijuana is not addictive. Alcohol is addictive. Horribly addictive. I know. I'm an alcoholic. I'm a horrible alcoholic drunk. I got to keep myself away from booze. Right? But it's promoted in this country because it makes money. A lot of money. If it makes money, it's good. The federal, right now, you know why the federal government doesn't want to legalize marijuana? They make plenty of money through the CIA and the DEA selling drugs illegally and trafficking drugs illegally. Why would they want to go legit? It's the same reason a street dealer, why would I want to go legit? Cut in the government. Why would the government want to go legit? Cut in the people. Remember yesterday we were talking about the environment. We were talking about Exxon, talking about Hillary and her ties with Exxon. Yeah, alcohol is worse. 4 years sober from booze? Nice, Juliet. I've fallen like 3 times. I'm on, 3 times that were significant. I've fallen so many times. I'm on 5 years. This one, 5 years. Almost the longest stint. It's really hard. I've quit, just so you know, folks, I used to be a long-haired druggie. Long-haired stoner, alcoholic druggie in a metal band in the 90s in Denver, Colorado, grew my hair, didn't have a shit care for the world, and had no idea what I was going to do with my life. I quit cocaine, mainlining, speedballs. I've done just about every drug under the sun. The hardest ones for me to quit are the 2 that are legal. Cigarettes, which I quit, and I've finally been off of cigarettes for a long time. Booze, which I've quit and fallen off several times. Those are the 2 addictive drugs sold legally in this nation that are the 2 most horrific drugs for the human body. They should be Schedule 1 with heroin. Marijuana should be listed as a fucking cure for all sorts of things. A health agent sold in nature stores. And our children should be educated on the real truth about alcohol and tobacco and marijuana and the lies that our government has perpetuated. I want reparations for that, federal government. I want reparations for that. I used to do a bunch of shit. I watched a friend almost die with cotton fever in his home, and I could tell you all sorts of interesting stories about that. You want to see addiction? When you watch your friend, you're holding your friend's head in your hands, and he's got foam coming out of his mouth, and you know he's got cotton fever because what he just shot up had a little filament of cotton. Needle wasn't clean, and that causes basically an aneurysm. The little thread of cotton goes into your brain, causes you to have like a stroke. I was trying to talk to my friend Glenn while that was happening. Right after that happened, I asked him if he would shoot me up because I wasn't good enough to do it myself. That's how addictive it is when you watch your friend almost die, but then you want another shot. I was able to quit that easier than cigarettes and alcohol. So whatever anybody tells you about drugs, a doctor, if they haven't done them, they don't know shit. They don't know shit. Okay. A lot of ways. A lot of ways. A lot of ways. Mark Terry, John, is that what got you to confront reality? Is that what got you to what happened was I left Colorado at 28. I needed a complete change of my life. I left Colorado at 28 and I quit everything cold turkey. That's what I did. Moved to California, got married, changed my life. Went to school. Let's talk about, I went to school and now I have a shit ton of school debt that I'm not planning on paying back. I figure the government owes me an education. Fuck them. Anyway, this was interesting after we just talked about Exxon. Right? We just talked about Exxon. Here's a Rockefeller, Neva Rockefeller Goodwin. Basically sold $400,000 worth of stock in Exxon after she learned what Exxon had done. And that money has gone to a fund to help the environment. Okay. And what's important here is that she writes as a financial person that Exxon is going down. She says, doesn't matter how it happens, whether it's shares, stocks, Exxon will not survive because she recognizes just how angry the people are. And the reason I want to tell you this is that we need to keep full court press on this. There are two states, California and New York, are looking at litigation or whatever, lawsuit, filing a class action suit against Exxon. We need to get the federal government in there, right? Although they won't because they're all working with Exxon. Hillary does sales and trade with Exxon through her Clinton Foundation. Okay, but this is a pretty big statement here. Rockefeller says this. I thought that was good news. And on the other side of the coin, here's local piece of shit Scott Walker. Now this is interesting because basically here, the reason I'm showing you this, Governor Scott Walker orders agencies not to prepare for Clean Power Plan because the Supreme Court decided that it could stop the Clean Power Plan because this is how our establishment corrupt government works. You try to push legislation through to do something for the environment, it gets blocked over here, then somebody over here does something, then it never happens. This is how our planet dies. Because we will never come to an agreement on the incremental, slow bullshit changes in our environmental policy. Not with Obama, not with any establishment, not with the establishment judicial branch, not with an establishment legislative branch. It's not going to happen. And here's Scott Walker saying, basically he put it this way, this is going to save us from save $13 billion. Your planet's going to die, you stupid fuck. Who gives a shit how much money it costs to fix when you're going to die? I don't understand the logic. We will not save this planet with an establishment government. That's the embodiment. That's the end of this. So here, Obama is trying to get shit done in his establishment way, and our government as a whole is blocking its own action. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. On that, I want to remind everybody that we need to help Nevada. We got the Nevada caucus coming up this Saturday. And we heard from Jesse Sabet yesterday about what's going on there with the net metering. Now, let me see if I can pull this up for you. I told you I was going to show you Crystal Hosmer's email about net metering, but I don't know that I have it right here for you. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know where it is. The point being, she says that they've gained some ground here. She says that, yeah, everything's fucked up, and basically you've got Warren Buffett and the old utilities in Nevada trying to make that happen, trying to keep oil industry, trying to keep the fossil fuel industry functioning there. They've kicked solar out, but the casinos are pissed. The casinos are pissed, and so now I think things are moving forward. I think things have changed. It doesn't matter. We need to get this. They've had a lot of movement. We've been helpful. You guys helped make this happen. She said they had a shit ton of activity on this petition. It's working. It is helping. Please drive this petition. This is bringbacksolar.org. Get as many people as you can to sign it all over the world. We need to push this issue. This petition has been helping. They've been using it to drive leverage in social. They've been using it to drive leverage with the government. So please help them with this. It's absolutely ridiculous that we have a government in Nevada that is fighting renewables for profit. This is literally what's going on here. They are fighting renewables for the sake of their own greed. It's unconscionable. It is disgusting. It's hypocrisy. It's more hypocrisy within our democracy, because if these individuals are actually voting on the people's interest, for the people's interest, renewables would not be anything we'd have to think about. Logical, easy choice today, especially knowing that Exxon knew 40 years ago we needed to move to renewables. 40 years ago we knew we needed to move to renewables. Why are we fighting solar here? Why is Warren Buffett fighting solar? Because Warren Buffett's a greedy white asshole. He's a greedy white man. And we have greedy old fucking white men running our goddamn government right now. And we need to get these people out of there. Establishment. Just, sorry, I went on a rant. Apologies, guys. And I said GD, which I don't know if I can say it or not. Anyway, let me know if that word's okay. Let's move on here. What we need is bold leadership, folks. Bold leadership. That comes from Bernie Sanders. Bold leadership comes from a guy who wants to do progressive change, not incremental bullshit. And we don't even have to argue the incremental versus progressive anymore. Hillary is a hypocrite. We have a massive hypocrisy in our democracy, from ghost voting to voter ID laws to the Thurmond rule, which works when Mitch McConnell wants it to work, and is utter bullshit when Mitch McConnell says it's utter bullshit.
Ron Placone here, so
we have a government that has run amok, and we need to be the new muck rakers. And we need to keep going. We cannot stop. We have to keep going. As much as I was down and depressed over the last 4 days, I woke up every morning and said, I need to see my family. I need to go online. Even if I'm an angry bastard, even if I piss people off, even if all I do is go, because we have to keep each other motivated. We have to keep each other full of energy to drive to finish this. We cannot stop. We cannot let the establishment win. They have one thing we don't, and that is they can sit forever. They can sit and not move and be fine. We have to move the mountain. We have to push the mountain of establishment hypocrisy out of our government. And it's a slow, hard push. We cannot stop, folks. We cannot stop. I'm reading your quote. I need to isolate all the Hillary barks? I'll have to find these out. What are the Hillary barks? I gotta find out. Oh, now's a good time for that. Thank you. Somebody just reminded me of this here. It wouldn't be let's put a little levity back into the. We have establishment politicians, and then we have individuals that just function for fun. And I count Trump as one of those. There we go. I always feel better when I get to blow a little Trump. Oh, that sounds terrible. That sounds awful. That's not what I meant at all. Anyway, Donald Trump reminding us that our government has become quite a joke. When a guy like that can even be entertained as a politician, it's pretty funny. Just use GD? Okay, I can say that. Oh, shit, I'm sorry, Hannah, I forgot the lower third comments. We had a bunch of them, I ran them earlier. Actually, I ran through most of those. I really did. We could run through some of them again, but here, we'll run through some more. It's 9:57. I didn't have enough time to put in like an hour and a half worth of show, folks. I have a nice ending from a guy named Tyrone Rose Jr. Sent this to me via email. Oh, and emails. Listen, I will have time now today to go through all your emails. I saw how many of you That's an interesting question. Mark Terry, do I think conservatism is irrational? I think the definition of conservatism as put forth by the current right wing is absolutely irrational. I think if you understand that where the left party sits today is actually in the center, and that the right wing is far off the right, and so what Bernie Sanders is actually asking for is a shift back to the left, which is why it looks radical, then yeah. When I think of what a conservative is supposed to mean, I think of being fiscally conservative with regard to things like the military. Because I'm not sure how you can consider yourself a conservative when you spend 54% of the budget on the military. That's not conservative. That's ridiculous luxury spending for one branch of our, one portion of our government that is socialized. That's socialized. Our military is a socialized entity. I don't understand why it gets so much money. So when we talk about conservatism, I don't think it's irrational. I just think we need to redefine the word to actually mean what it means. Just like progressive. Progressive means actually fucking moving forward with progressive ideas, not keeping shit the same for another 8 years. Whereas conservative to me would mean rational, logical, sound policies to conserve money in places where it doesn't need to be spent, like politicians' pockets, like pad accounts, like subsidies for oil companies, subsidies for any fucking company. Companies shouldn't be getting subsidies. They're fucking companies. You either work or you don't. Fuck you and your subsidies. Okay? Military spending. That should be cut by about 2/3. So yeah, as far as conservatism, I think we need to redefine the term because I don't think anybody knows what that means anymore. I'm not sure what it means. Conservatism today means fuck the people, help the corporations. I'd like to reverse that and see where the spending ends up. When we stop giving corporations so much of our money, I don't think conservatives will have a lot to say. I think we'll be a much more conservative government. Imagine how much less money we will have to spend in our government if we stop giving it all away. Imagine where our deficit will go when we stop giving it all away. I would love to be conservative again in a way that makes logical fucking sense. Stop spending our money on things besides us. Because the money is supposed to go back here. Not more bombs, fucking missiles, not Monsanto, not Exxon, who paid a 0.4% tax rate. Yeah, I absolutely believe in conservatism. Tell me, conservatives, if you believe in that conservatism. If so, I'm a conservative. Abso-fucking-lutely. You know? No, there was a guy arrested for the student debt. It's welfare. You're right. It's welfare. Subsidies, welfare. It's the same fucking thing. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand how a company that has ruined our planet can receive subsidies. I don't understand how GE, who makes a shit ton of money off us already, gets to pay no taxes. I don't understand that. Negative tax rate. Imagine if we had the tax money from these companies, folks. Would the word conservative even need to be in play? Here's a question for you. Would we even need to worry about money at all if we actually had money from all the corporations that should be paying their fucking taxes? Imagine how much money we would have. The word conservative wouldn't need to be said. We'd be like, oh, we've got billions of fucking dollars to spend on education. I don't care. Keep your military budget. We should have plenty of money left to spend on us. If we actually got corporation tax money. If they actually paid their taxes like every other fucking business. I want a conservative, a true conservative, to answer me why corporations don't pay their fair share. What it tells me about a corporation is they don't have the ability, which means they're a shitty corporation. But conservatives look at it differently. Republicans are not really conservatives. Republicans are not really conservatives. Corporate death penalty, I think a lot of corporations need to be liquidated. Exxon should be liquidated. Monsanto should be liquidated. They both committed crimes against humanity. Massive crimes against humanity for decades. Liquidated. The funds used to fix this planet. Another place we'd have a total amount of money. I think all of the politicians with accounts in the Cayman Islands should be fired as traitors, and all of that money should be put back into the country. We have shit tons of money all over the world, folks. It's just not in our hands. It's been spent by our politicians elsewhere, handed back to Monsanto and Exxon while they destroy our planet. While Obama talks out his ass about environment, he hands Exxon money. He writes the TPP and signs it. I mean, hypocrisy within our democracy. We have a hypocrisy. We want the truth. We want the peace train. We want the truth with Bernie Sanders. And that's going to take electing officials that are willing to speak the truth. And that means probably putting a lot of us on the ticket. Because the people know the truth and speak it. The establishment lies. They have no clue. We have a hypocrisy within our democracy, folks. I'm going to end it there. We're going to watch this. Today you are left-handed. I am. Is it reversed? Is it reversed again? I don't know how that happened. Apparently my screen got reversed. We'll have to figure that out. I don't know what the deal is. I'm just reading all your stuff. Nice. Keep guns in establishments. Yes, we will have a surplus, Jake. Listen, any government plan will have a surplus when we stop letting them hand our money back to corporations. End those subsidies. $110 billion in subsidies to fossil fuel industry. Why the fuck are we subsidizing the fossil fuel industry at all? Why? Why at all? Imagine if we could give $110 billion to the renewable energy industry. Why? Why? Right now I want to know why. Why can't we go into Congress right now? Why can't we call up Obama on the phone and say, those 110, stop that shit. Right fucking now. This is where I get too impatient for our democracy. This is where I'm like, what do we do? What do we do? Nobody's down with the TPP. I'll look at my camera settings, guys. Please understand that there's 5 different cameras in here. Okay. And there's a lot of different connections. A lot of duct tape going on. A lot of duct tape on. It's so nice. Simple girl. I don't know how this got reversed. I gotta figure somewhere in here it got reversed, and I gotta figure out what happened, why it got reversed. How about? Hang on a second. I switched to this. I want you to tell me if this. Now, am I reversed? Am I back the other way? Tell me if on this view you're seeing me switched. Did I just switch hands? What are my views on peak oil? I'm not sure what you mean. So Mark Terry, I'm reading that. My views on peak oil is the same with my views on all oil. I want our use of oil stopped now. And then I want a federally created oil company that hands out the remaining oil that we need to keep things going while we shift everything over to renewables. That's what I want. I'm back to normal. Okay, that explains a lot. It's this camera versus this camera, and I didn't know that it was going to reverse me. So if we're okay, if we're back on the right thing, then my hair part is to normal. Then I'm doing your head. Talk about the EPIC program. It stinks. What stinks, Dolores? This program or what is the EPIC program? I'm not familiar with that. Tell me what the EPIC program is. I'll have to figure it out. I see the voices off too. I see the voices off. Give me 1 second. That's that's probably I could fix that. Let's see. Check. Try that. Is that better? For a moment, you thought I would be supporting Hillary? Why? I don't support Hillary. What about taxes? Would you answer that to the Trumps of the world who claim that if you impose more taxes on corporations, they will escape to China? All right. So I know the voice is off. That's something I have to fix with delay because each one of these cameras has a different delay. So I hope it comes back. If I switch this one, then I switch hands and everything, right? So we don't want that. We want this camera. We will talk about that stuff. You guys did make me laugh. So sorry if the voice is off. I could switch it to a different audio, which I know the voice would not be off. But, let's just get through this because now I'm reading all your comments and stuff. I am loyal to Bernie. I started this channel for Bernie. I would never think otherwise. We can talk about money and corporations and all that stuff. That's a good question to ask about. New polling from Nevada. I don't have any new polling from Nevada. All I know, think it through so it's an epic fail then. Peak oil means, oh, we're nowhere near peak oil, folks. I'm not even worried about it. Here's the thing. We have to be switched to renewables before any of this supposed peak oil bullshit happens. Okay? There's no... I don't care about oil. I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't care about the market. This planet's going to die. This planet's going to die. It doesn't matter about the oil. And as far as the companies producing it, fuck them all. They knew 40 years ago, every single fossil fuel company knew 40 years ago that they needed to shift their energy. They knew 40 years ago if they really wanted to get up on the game, if they really wanted to survive, they needed to start shifting to renewables. They all had a choice 40 years ago to take the high road or the easy road, and they took the easy road. So fuck them all. I don't care what happens to them. I don't care what happens to the oil. I'm building my home to be energy independent, to prepare for the day when we have to. I want my government, when we put Bernie Sanders in there, we're going to build a renewable energy grid. I'm going to push for that. So, and yeah, let's talk about that. We can talk about that real quick. Raising taxes on corporations is going to force them to function like a corporation that can actually run. We are the consumers. They want to sell us goods. We will buy the goods that we want. Supply and demand. We now have the power of the people harnessed through the internet. We now have the millennials harnessed through the internet. We are the power. So we enforce tax laws. Here's how this goes. We tell whatever company, you're going to pay your fucking taxes. Build your shit here or get out. And they say, fine, we're leaving. And we say, fine, fuck you. Fuck you. We'll start our own company that builds it here in America. We'll use a different product. We'll use something else. We are the consumers. We are the consumers. It's our choice. Demand, we are the demanders. Supply is driven by demand. All that bullshit that Reagan talked about in the 80s, supply side economics, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. It's demand side economics. If your demand doesn't want your product, your company goes under. Fuck you. That's how it works. That's how it works. Hemp. Totally. We could plant hemp. We could fuck corn. Get rid of corn. Plant hemp. Corn is just another fossil fuel embedding. Get rid of corn. It's useless. Plant hemp across this country. It has so many more uses. It could be fuel. It can be material. It's it's good pot when you grow the right strains. This country, our farmland should be hemp. Our farmland would have been hemp had we had a government that was not about profit and corruption. We need to put people in office that think, not just work for greed. Back to hemp. Yes, we're being forced to consume an oil price that's peaking, and we're not putting the money we make from that into finding more efficient green energy. Yes. Yes. Yes, it is. All of you guys stay angry, but don't make yourself sick. Judy, I'm not even near that way today. I promised myself I wasn't going to get into a heavy rant, that I wasn't going to go ape shit, because I don't want this show to be all angry and ranty, really. I just want it to be passionate. I want everybody to recognize that we need to keep going. that we're doing good, that this is going to suck more, that it's going to get worse. That's what I've been dealing with for the last 4 days. It was just like, shit, I'm beat. I just needed to rest. I needed to get some energy back in me, you know? And now I have it. And anyway, Blue Dream. That's a great strain. I'm actually growing some, my friend. Nice quote. Frank Martin Jr., if a company does not contribute to the growth of American middle class, they shouldn't be able to sell their products in America. Fucking right. No subsidies. No subsidy. I've owned a few companies. The ones that, I mean, they've all not been successful, folks. You know why? Because running a company's hard when you're doing it honestly. When you're able to cheat out of taxes, when you're able to grease lobbyists to get what the fuck you want, running a company is pretty easy. So for all those CEOs out there making bank, cheating our system, cheating our government, cheating your people, you're not great. You're not some big CEO. You're a piece of shit failure because you can't run a company honest and true. That's really what it comes down to. Anybody can fake run a company. Anybody can run a company when they get to cheat. That's not hard. Try doing something difficult, like running a company honest, that actually pays its fucking taxes and pays a real living wage. That makes you a steward of industry, not just an overpaid piece of shit CEO. That's what I want. I want to see stewards of industry. Stewards of industry last. They're a brand that lasts, right? Elon Musk and everything that man creates, he's a steward of industry. Warren Buffett's a greedy old fucking white man. There's a big difference. Big difference in my mind. Anyway, I'm reading some of your comments. Very cool. Romulan in your garden. Nice. Johnny Hempseed. I'm growing 4 strains right now in a new method called a manifold. It's almost like bonsai for marijuana plants. Snowfruit, Chemdog, Blue Dream, Psycho Crack. Those are the 4 strains I'm going right now. Thank you, Oregon Seed Company. But you know, right now I don't even have to grow from seeds. I can go down to Maritime Cafe and buy a plant that's already started. I thought that was pretty fucking cool. Super Silver Haze is absolutely my favorite, Naomi. That was the first marijuana strain that let me know that there was a work strain. I was like, oh my god, Super Silver is absolutely beautiful for my brain. If you've got a fast brain and you're always like ADD running around, Super Silver. Love it. Beautiful. Nice to talk to all you guys. Didn't know you were out there, all you hemp guys. Come on out. Hey, if there's anybody who wants to help me in Portland, I can trade weed and food for service. That's all I got. No money. But I grow really good weed. So we could talk about that. Yeah, Psycho Crack. John, what will we need to do once Bernie is done with his presidency? Won't we do that? Okay, let's talk about that a little bit, and then we're going to run this thing. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But votes.berniesanders.com. The first thing we need to do is get Bernie into office. We need to support all of the Bernie-crats that are running right now against opponents. Right? Tom Fegan, Gary Kroger, Jesse Smith, Gail Finney, Alex Law, Jesse Sabay. We've had so many of them on the channel. Martin Casada. All of these people are running for office. These are all burners. They all get it. They all want swift, massive change at whatever level of government they're in. We have to find out who they are in our states, and we have to support them. And if you've got time, join their campaign. Because I'll tell you this, most of the people that we've talked to, Tom Fegan's a bit different, but most of the people that we've talked to, they don't have anybody. They don't have campaign staff. They don't have volunteers doing shit for them. They're them and their wives or their husbands. Or maybe they got one person helping them. But these guys, if you've got extra time to spare and your state's not like hopping for a caucus or a primary, see if you can't help these local politicians. I guarantee you they want your help. If you can help them with social media, what's his name? Jeff Young. He doesn't have a Twitter. He doesn't run his Twitter. He doesn't know what to do there. He needs somebody to help him. He's in Kentucky. You want to get yourself involved with politics and you're not quite ready to dive in? This is where you start. Volunteer to help with a local or state level politician's campaign. They're eager for your help, especially if you know how to run social media, know how to do anything in terms of organizing. Anything. Just help them. And that's what we need to do, folks. I don't want to take away from the Bernie Sanders campaign at all. And of course, if Bernie Sanders campaign people come back and say, please don't take people away from us, then don't. All right. But we need to find out who they are in our states. We need to offer our assistance. Just like we've helped Bernie, we need to help them. All of the same things are going to need to come in play. A lot of the tools, edibles are good. A lot of the tools, I made my own oil. It was really good. A lot of the Bernie tools that are coming out, like the caucus, like the field to burn, works just fine for all these other guys too. So that's part of it. The whole Bernie Crat bubble is coming together with all these applications and stuff. We need to vote beyond Bernie, vote beyond the presidency, vote for your mayor, governor, senator. Yes, exactly, Frank. And we need to be active. I mean, it's amazing. People joke, John, you should go be a congressman or a senator or a councilman or a mayor or whatever. The truth is, folks, I'd like to. I would love to find a role and run and take an active part in shaping my county or my state or my city. Because I now know that I can. I didn't know that I could before. I really didn't think that we'd have that option. But now that we're here together and we've done this for Bernie, okay, if I had the time and there was an opening and it needed to be filled and I felt compelled, I would run for that office because I know that I could find support, right? I don't think I would make a good politician. I think I'd make a potty mouth politician, but I'd get shit done. Either way, that's the point, folks. Run. If you can run, run. Now, I noticed somebody sharing Burn Kit. I just got to say, BurnKit is another one of those places that's aggregating things that doesn't have accurate stuff, because BurnKit also lists the voteforbernie.org, which is not accurate. Right? So we got to be careful with all these things. Got to be careful. Daniel, you'll help what? I know you'll help. You've always been here to help. Oh, who's the guy in Kentucky? The guy in Kentucky is Jeff Young. Jeff Young. But all of these guys, they all need help in different ways. We can put out a list of all the politicians. We can get you in touch with them. Find them on Twitter. If there's anybody that's hearing this message and really wants to get in contact with somebody, like you're in their state and you want to start working with them or whatnot, let me know. We've offered all of them ongoing shows on this program. If we can expand and we can keep it going, that's one of the goals here. Oh shit, I forgot to mention that. I was supposed to mention this at the beginning. Jesse, I apologize. I'm doing a really bad job of promoting our fundraising abilities. Everybody on the homepage of our channel, Bernie2016.tv, just go there. Somewhere on there in the little corner, there's a fan fundraiser button. That's what I've done right now for anybody that wants to help. It's not monetization of our YouTube videos. It's simply a way for you to fan fund, and it goes to my Google account, so it can help pay for like the Google services that we use. So that's what I set up there. Anything you guys are doing outside of that to help expand, great. But I do have the fan funding button on the homepage because and it pissed off YouTube because I didn't enable the monetization on the videos. They'd like that very much, and I told them to fuck off. Before we go, I want to show you guys something. Just go to Bernie2016.tv. That's the homepage of our channel. Thank you, guys. I want to show you something real quick, though. We may lose this channel. I just want to preface that. We may have to go to channel 6. The people or persons that own the song Starman that is being used by the Sanders campaign. So this is not the Sanders campaign. I don't know who's doing this, okay? The Sanders campaign has rights to use the song, I'm sure, whatever they're doing there. We picked up the song Starman, I don't know how many times. Every time we do a broadcast now, it runs at the end. And I cut the volume down and whatnot, but you can hear it in the background. Well, at the Bernie Sanders rally yesterday in Eastern Michigan at Convocation Hall, I had it too loud, apparently, as I was walking off. I left it too loud. What they did was tell me, we've noticed this song, so we've muted the song. And it said in YouTube, we've muted your song. So, okay, great. So I go to check it out. They didn't mute the song. They muted the entire hour-long fucking video of Bernie Sanders. The song is at the end. It's 1 minute at the end. But they muted the entire video. So I said, okay, dispute this. Remove the song. Because you can click on that and it says, okay, do you want us to remove the audio of that song and leave the audio intact on the rest of the video? I said, yes, please do that. So I clicked that button, and today I look at it, and it's not changed. It says, we're sorry, we've recognized this song on here, and we're muting the entire video. Well, fuck you, YouTube, and fuck you, dude who owns the rights to this song. So I just want to show you what I've done. This is the next step that you do with the idiotic YouTube system, the punitive damage system. I filed a reason for dispute. And I basically said this is used under fair use. And here's what I said. First off, the song is at the end of the video. You muted the entire video. That is ridiculous. This is Bernie Sanders. It is political speech. What we do is transformative. You do not get to mute the entire video because of one song at the end. Mute your song, but you will not mute the entire video. This is an abuse of the DMCA. If you issue a copyright strike via this abusive, corrupt system, I will file a suit and we will take this all the way. I'm tired of being dicked around by YouTube. This song is played at the end of every Bernie Sanders rally, and we have hundreds of them recorded. What is your deal? Okay. Now, the plaintiff has until March. The asshole that owns the tune has 30 days to respond. My guess is they're going to respond by issuing a copyright strike, which they can. I've got no recourse. The next thing I will need to do is hire a fucking lawyer. But it will probably shut down the channel or suspend our streaming abilities. So I just want you to know that this is the kind of bullshit that I deal with every fucking day with YouTube. And if I could just get a person from YouTube with the integrity to have a conversation with me, maybe we could work together. Still don't know why Channel 4 was shut down, YouTube. Terms of Service 4, Section H, you still haven't told me why. But I just wanted to let you guys know that Channel 5, there's a good possibility we're going to lose that channel here as soon as this person responds to my very angry information there. So this is when people say, well, John, you're a dumbass because you're broadcasting copyrighted shit. No, I'm not. YouTube is abusive. They're part of the establishment. I've had 2 channels shut down for Terms of Service 4 Section H. Has nothing to do with copyright. It's just YouTube being a fucking asshole. And they won't talk to me. They won't email me. I've tried legal letters. Just let you know where we stand, guys. Yeah, live next. Thank you. We'll probably create another channel. It's very weird. That was why when the Mark guy or Mike guy from the Uptake, when he started reaming on me about using his stream, I was just like, fuck this. I've been depressed for days over that. Just fucking. We're trying to save a planet. We got people complaining over the use of political content. Political speech is protected in the United States under the First Amendment. It's supposed to be the most protected speech, but it was sold by your government. Sold to corporate media by your government in 1996. And we need to take it back, folks. End of the day, here's what the deal is, guys. Bernie Sanders, I should have a stream for you at 3:15 Eastern today from somewhere. And until then, I will be responding to all the emails. I got a ton of emails from folks. Thank you, guys. I see them. I know that they're there. I see you in chat. I will respond to those emails. I promise I will get to them. And we'll talk, and we'll bring a bunch of you into Slack. And I love you guys. I love you guys. You guys are asking how to help. I've got this Move On petition right here that we're trying to get people to sign. This is free.bernie2016.tv. The whole goal is to hopefully get YouTube to pull its head out of its ass and come talk to me. Because I'm willing to monetize things and make them a whole bunch of money if they will talk to me. But they won't talk to me. I have requirements. I have ethical specifications around how I want to monetize. I know I have a powerful system. We'll wait and see what they do. Anyway, Yeah, we tried to find lawyers. We had a few people helping. I don't know. We had somebody and then they left. We have somebody else writing papers. I've spoken to some other lawyers. To date, I can't find a lawyer who will actually take the case. A practicing lawyer who will take the case, who does not want me to cough up money. I got no money. If you're a lawyer and you got time and you actually want to help the cause, great. Don't hit me up for fucking money, please. I got no money. But yeah, I haven't been able to find a lawyer to date that can do that. We do have Simcat, who I'm supposed to talk with, who's done a bunch of legal stuff on this, and I just don't know what it says, and I haven't had a conversation there. There's a lot going on. Anyway, Bernie Sanders today, folks, that's the point. Vote.berniesanders.com, that's the point. All right? Nevada caucus coming up Saturday, that's the point. Supporting your local and city and state officials, finding out who they are. All right, I know there's a list out there of Bernie-crats, Bernie people. If you are able to offer your help to these folks, they need it. Let's get them in office. Let's get them elected. All right. Info@Bernie2016.tv, Dolores. Info@Bernie2016.tv. Thank you so much. Glad to see you guys here, and just reading some comments. We've reached out to the ACLU. Here's the thing. I see a lot of people making comments. We've reached out to a bunch of groups. I've had a conversation with some people at the EFF. What they told me was that if I filed a case against CNN, which is the CNN shutdown, is a specific case of fair use of political content. CNN shut us down via copyright violate on Channel 2, and that is the one case that the EFF has looked at. But there is absolutely zero guarantee, as I was told, and I am paraphrasing, I am not quoting, that they would take the case if I were to file suit. So I would have to go through the motion of filing the suit, or of going into that action within the YouTube system of saying, fuck you, CNN, we are going to take this to court. And then I would have to wait and see if any lawyer was like, I'll take that case. But what I've been told is that the EFF will not take it specifically. They have said they do not know. They could not tell me one way or the other. Okay, because they are uncertain that it could be one. I've been told I have a case. I have a solid case with Channel 2, with CNN. Separate issue from Channels 3 and 4. But with Channel 2 CNN, I have a case. What they say is it's not a slam dunk winnable case. That's the problem. It becomes expensive. It becomes a big PR deal. And then we get into the question of whether it's worth doing this and dividing our effort. Because the point is to get Bernie Sanders elected. And that's why I've kind of sit on it. That's why I've kind of left it. I'm not as concerned about CNN as I am about Channels 3 and 4 and YouTube shutting us down for Terms of Service 4 Section H, which apparently just happens all the time. And we've got no recourse. So that's what I need help with, folks. Here's the petition link again. I can't force them to prove they have a right. Under their terms of service, understand this. Under their terms of service, YouTube can shut down a channel for absolutely any reason and no reason. And we agree to that in the terms of service. They can shut the channel down and list Terms of Service 4 Section H, which is what they use, and say, fuck you. We have no reason. Right? What I want to do is talk with YouTube about partnership in their nonprofit, about running ads for Bernie Sanders, about running ads for corporations we are okay with, about running ads for other Bernie-crats. I will do that, and I will make money for YouTube that way. But I will not put advertisements for fucking establishment corporations across my channel. And I will not nickel and dime the 99 to look at those fucking ads. And so that is why we have an issue here with YouTube. So, listen guys, if you guys can help, that's be great. We have to use YouTube because it is the biggest reach. We use YouTube because it is 50% of global search. It's 50% of global search. You guys have been fucking awesome. You really got me in a better mood today, got me pumped up. I'm excited. We're going to have a broadcast later today with Bernie. We may have something before that. I don't know. I'll get to all your emails. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us today on the Newsroom. Tomorrow, we'll talk about a lot of things, particularly money and politics, I think. We'll talk about conservatism. Why don't we talk about what a true conservative is, and we'll look at the difference. We'll look at how far right we've shifted from where we were, say, Kennedy era, and what happened after John F. Kennedy was assassinated, because really we took a plunge. We took a plunge. So let's look at that. And thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for helping out. Thank you guys for feeling the burn. We're going to end with this song. This is Tyrone Rose Jr., The Revolution. It's about 3 minutes. This is really powerful, compelling stuff. I love when these things are put together. I don't think we're going to run into any copyright issues or shutdowns, but hey, we're at the end. Thank you, Tyrone, for sending this in via email. I've got your link in the list in the description, and I'm seeing these statements. Thank you guys for making me feel like what we do here matters. At least this show, anyway. I know that bringing you Bernie matters, and that's the point. But this show every day is a struggle for me to wonder if what I'm doing is really, really important and necessary. And having you here talking with you, I'll say this: it's important and necessary for me to feel good about what we do every day in the revolution, to have a conversation with you, to kind of process events, just to have a cup of tea with you in the morning, and talk about the shit going on in the world and what we need to do about it together. So thank you all for making this home. Appreciate it. Till tomorrow, or later today. Feel the burn, everybody. They said the stand would never come. They said our sights were set too high. They said this country was too divided, too disillusioned to ever come together around a common purpose. But on this moment, on this defining moment in history, you have done what the Senate said we could do. You have done what America can do in this new year. Your lives and strikes around the church. So now, this is stay together. The Democrats, Republicans, and Independents to stand up and say that we are one nation. We are one people. Our time for change is coming.
As we honor the extraordinary life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., it's important not only that we remember what he stood for, but that we pledge to continue his vision to transform our country. That's what our campaign is about. It is thinking big. It is understanding that in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, we should have health care for every man, woman, and child as a right, that we should raise the minimum wage to at least $15 an hour, that we have got to create millions of decent paying jobs by rebuilding our public infrastructure. So what my first day is all about is bringing America together to end the decline of the middle class, to tell the wealthiest people in this country that yes, they are going to start paying their fair share of taxes, and that we are going to have a government that works for all of us and not just big campaign contributors. This campaign is about a political revolution to not only elect the president, but to transform this country. The tag team title. Before you bring
public